Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 103 is brought to you by Avidea, one of our newest Patreon patrons. Today, Sergio and I are going to talk about the latest Haken artwork, Animal Crossing Amiibo in New Horizons, and the possibility of vacations in Animal Crossing. So to begin, hello Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi Chewy, I'm doing rather awesome. It was a pretty cool weekend. I spent most of it at Las Vegas. It was a nice little weekend getaway, if you will.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot you were out of town until just today.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Did you make time to play Luigi's Mansion while you were there?
Yes, definitely. Mostly before, but I did play a little bit over there. And of course, I was looking out for Animal Crossing things. We went to a game store, like an old retro games shop, and I saw a pair of, the bead art, like that pixelated look art pieces that you can buy. I saw one for Reese and Cyrus, and I wanted to get them for you so bad, but they told me those were just for display, not for sale.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's
they
messed
look
up.
pretty
Why
good.
put it in your store if you're not gonna sell it? Come on. No, that's cool. I actually recently got a present for you that you don't know what it is yet, but you're gonna get it around December when I go over there.
Nice, thank you.
So I think you'll like it. I asked you some questions a while back to find out what to get. So yeah, I think it'll be a nice surprise when we finally do another meetup.
Yeah,
maybe we should just make it a thing. See if other people who listen to the show in California want to show up somewhere and play games and everything. Of course, that'll be a lot cooler once New Horizons is actually out, So soon we'll make that happen.
Yeah, sounds great.
So we can't go too far into this show without, of course, talking about this new Haken artwork. For those of you who are listening or watching on YouTube, you are getting the whole picture right here. This is the Haken artwork for November. It's pretty beautiful. I love it so much.
Yes.
And for those of you who clicked on the podcast, I'm hoping this image has updated by the time you're clicking on it. So yeah, if it is, you just clicked on the new Haken artwork. So this piece is by IVTs. I think they also go by Dirt Goblin on social media a bit, but I know them as IVTs. But essentially, I found this artist because I saw they had a really unique piece of artwork that was Animal Crossing related, where it was like a reinterpretation of the characters with kind of more realistic animal features,
Oh, yes.
So on their website, I think at the top it says Odd Crossing for the piece, but on their website they called it Odd Forest. And I like both of those because, of course, it blends Animal Crossing and Animal Forest, which are the two English and Japanese titles for the game. But I don't know, I really loved the look of their artwork as I looked through more of their website and everything, and I was just like, it has to be the next artist because they do such amazing work with interiors and everything, which wasn't really captured in their Animal Crossing piece. So I kind of liked getting to see them all blended together, where you have this big room full of things and, it's pretty crowded and there's lots of stuff. They called it maximalism as opposed to, minimalism.
Yeah.
So it's just a room with, and if you look closely, a lot of this stuff is actual Animal Crossing furniture that you'll find in the game.
Yes.
I especially really love the little modern wood table on the right with the kind of record player there. That one is one of my favorite pieces, of course, in the game. But as far as villagers go / special characters, Sergio, I know I wrote this down. Have you seen them yet, or do you want to guess who they are?
No, I saw them, but they do look pretty nice. I wouldn't be able to guess them though, unfortunately.
Okay. So on the left, of course, we have Franklin, who is the turkey that comes by every harvest to, celebrate the harvest festival with all of your little animal friends. And then in the center, to the right of Franklin, we have another bird, but this one is a chicken named Knox. And Knox is a little chicken that wears a helmet, kind of like a armor, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a knight's helmet,
Yes.
So Jackie picked Knox because I was, as I do, I always pull out the calendar that I have, the official Nintendo calendar that has like all of the villager faces and everything. And she saw Knox and she was like, that is the cutest little chicken. So I think she also really liked that it's got like kind of a Don Quixote feel to him. So
Right.
yeah, where he's, kind of a knight trying to be a knight in shining armor. But yeah, he's really cute. He quickly became one of Jackie's favorite villagers. So fun fact right there. And then the last one is Antonio with his really cool, like kind of black and white color scheme.
Yeah.
And I really wanted Antonio in it because I try to get a new type of villager in all of these pieces as much as possible, and I don't think we'd had an anteater before. We definitely never had a turkey because that's the only turkey in the game.
Yes.
But yeah, I really like just blending all of the animals and seeing how they come out, and really like the colors of all of them worked so well, and they all look really good in this piece. So what do you think of it, Sergio?
Oh, it's really really good. Like you said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of detail, but in a way, it still feels like Animal Crossing. Like it feels more HD, which is what we're getting with New Horizons. I think it matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's kind of like, it's so high definition, the animals look real. But yeah, I'm in love with this piece. I'm really excited to have it for, just the November time. November, in case you don't know, is my favorite month of the year. October is my second favorite, but these 2 months have been so fun to have artwork for, and I've been really happy with what we've had.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess before I get too far, I do want to say all credit goes to IVTs for this piece we got. If you want to follow them on Twitter and Instagram, they are at IVTs. That's IVYTEAS. And I'll have all of those links in the description as well. And then they also have a website with their portfolio, which is ivts.wixsite.com/puddlesong/info. So once again, I know that's a lot to take in audibly, but check the description. It's all right there. You'll have links to their social media and their portfolio. And I really want you to check out their work because if you look at it, it's just got like this really amazing Studio Ghibli vibe to it. And
Yeah.
it's all very like magical for being generally like a normal setting,
Yeah.
Yeah, because this piece itself, like they're all sitting around a table and everything, and there's furniture and stuff, but it feels magical. It feels like something special is happening there.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, once again, check the description for their work. Go look at their other artwork. It's really amazing, and yeah, just enjoy what they're putting out there because it's always, this is an exciting time for me every podcast where we get to a new month and we get to see a new piece of artwork. And because I don't know, when I first started this, I was like, oh yeah, let's go with the seasons. I was just going to do winter, spring, autumn, summer, all of the seasons and everything. And then we hit a goal on our Patreon and I was like, you know what, let's do this monthly. So moving to the monthly, I think, was great. We get to enjoy more artwork. I think the one thing is, like, I wish we could enjoy it a little bit longer, but, we're working on a calendar that's going to compile all of these pieces of art together for everybody. So stay tuned with that. I'm trying to have everything compiled for that by mid-January. So hopefully we can get pre-orders open by February, and then everybody can get their calendar in March to accompany them with New Horizons as they play.
Perfect.
I'm so excited for this game. And I feel like it's getting faster, the wait. I feel like we're in November now. November, December, January, and February are the last 4 months that we have to exist without this game. So it feels good.
And I feel like really good games like Luigi's Mansion 3 are helping with that because, we get distracted by them, we play them, we love them, and then, another month has gone by.
Yeah, it's true. And I think right now the schedule's pretty packed. It's been packed like this whole end of the year.
Yes.
So I have a lot of games to play between these next releases. Like Pokemon is less than 2 weeks away at this point.
Yes.
That's insane. We just got Luigi's Mansion this past week, and now we're just going to be able to play those 2 games and then get our fill with them. And then, finally, Animal Crossing will be out, and we won't need any other games after that.
Yep.
Sergio, I'm really glad you have your vacation planned out already.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I'm going to be really jealous. I'm going to be sitting at work and be all like... I could be playing Animal Crossing right now. I should have saved my 2 weeks of vacation for this. Cool. So, once again, enjoy this artwork. Go check out IVTs everywhere. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, very nice.
All right, so let's move into this next section of the podcast, and we're going to be talking about Animal Crossing Amiibo. So, I've seen this question pop up a few times in multiple places, but a lot of people are always wondering if there's going to be Amiibo functionality in the game. And I should have looked up the exact interview where we found this information. I think we have it in our Discord on the bulletin board. But
yes.
Essentially, the developers have confirmed that Amiibo functionality is coming to New Horizons. All of the Animal Crossing Amiibo will work. Essentially, I think they did this interview with a French publication. I think this was the one. But they essentially said, we made nearly 500 Animal Crossing Amiibo. It's only fair that we make them functional in this new game. And honestly, it is, because I spent a lot of money collecting all of them. So I'm going to hope that I can use them in this next game.
Yes.
So like I said, there's almost 500 of these things. And that's just Animal Crossing alone. You think there's a lot of Smash Bros. Amiibo, but... it's really got nothing on Animal Crossing. Of course, overall, maybe you've spent a little less based on the price of Animal Crossing Amiibo. Most of them were cards, and if you got them in packs at retail, you're spending about $6 for 6 cards, unless you were in Europe, which was unfortunate. I think they had to spend $6 for 3 cards.
Yeah.
So, that's rough. But anyways, so... all of us who have spent a lot or have been looking for these and, maybe bought them for a little bit more on eBay, Amazon, wherever you have it, all of us are, of course, hoping that they work. And luckily, the developers said that they will, and they understand that we all spent a lot of money on these things, so... yeah. We should be safe there. But I do have some questions for us to answer, Sergio. And this first one is, do you think they will re-release the existing Amiibo cards and figures for those who missed them?
I think so. I feel like they almost have to, simply because, they did confirm the Amiibo are going to work. And also because, honestly, when they came out, it was mostly for Happy Home Designer, which was great. It was very nice to have another Animal Crossing game on the 3DS, the first spin-off. But then again, it was a spin-off. So I feel like having the Amiibo available for a mainline release, it's really going to basically sell the Amiibo. So I feel like they do... plan, and they really should re-release them.
You're totally right, and I totally forgot that these amiibo were essentially just planned for this spin-off title for Animal Crossing. And we've already seen Nintendo look at that massive amount of amiibo they made and be like, all right, we'll give them a break. They can use it in New Leaf as well. Let's do a Welcome Amiibo update. Which, like it's called the Welcome Amiibo update. It was built around this amiibo functionality. So already we've seen Nintendo be very generous in not only like providing a free update for the game, but giving us more uses for the massive amount of amiibo cards that they made available,
Yes.
Yeah, so I am gonna agree with you. Essentially, I think they will re-release these existing amiibo just because, like, a lot of people are coming into this game for the first time, and a lot of people just were in a different spot in their life back then, and maybe they didn't know or get to the amiibo on time. So there are a lot of people looking for them, and I think with just new life being brought to the game with new horizons, it's going to make people a lot more interested. It's going to reinvigorate that interest in Amiibo.
Yes.
And, the cards, there's a lot of history with the cards with Nintendo and Animal Crossing. So, like, Nintendo as a company, they're over 100 years old, and they literally started by making playing cards, And when they moved into like making video games and everything, the GameCube implemented a little bit more of that expertise that Nintendo had by introducing the Animal Crossing e-reader cards. And so you could scan in the e-reader cards and get some special things in that Animal Crossing game. But overall, it was like, when they announced they were doing cards again for the Amiibo, as well as figures. I mean, we wanted figures for sure.
Yes.
But overall, when they added cards, I was like, this is awesome. I missed out on buying Animal Crossing e-reader cards for the GameCube game. This is my chance to kind of relive that to some extent, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they can do that for other people. They can re-release these Amiibo cards and they can relive essentially something they missed, which is what I got to do back when they first came out. So
right.
I'm hoping for everybody, yes, that they come out, especially those Sanrio cards. Please bring them to North America. They did not release in North America. And that led to a lot of sadness in my heart because I wasn't able to get them and I had to pay more. Luckily, I got a good deal, but that's another story. Okay, I have another question for you, Sergio.
Okay.
Do you think that they will add to the Amiibo collection?
Yes, especially because it's almost a guarantee, right, that we're going to get new special characters or at least new regular villagers. I feel like they pretty much have to make Amiibo for them. I feel like if there's special characters, those would be better fitted for Amiibo figures, and the new villagers could get new cards.
Yeah, I think you're totally spot on there. Like, if they're going, a lot of us are suspecting there's going to be a Dodo villager or special character just based on there being a Dodo Airlines. Which, I mean, there's still so much that they need to show about this game. Show us the inside of Dodo Airlines. Show us a lot. I want to know more. But yeah, if they're making special characters, if they're making new villagers, it would make sense to put out a set that had those new special characters and new villagers. And, we've seen them do sets of 100, sets of 50, and depending on how many characters they add, I could see them doing 50 to 100 more Amiibo cards to add, bringing that number from 500 to nearly 600 Amiibo cards and figures. Oh, yikes, that's a lot. But I have binders, Nintendo. I have room. Give them to me. I have room. I'll make room. But yeah, I agree. I think I also want to see more figures, though. I don't want it to just be cards. I want to see... I keep a little sticky note on my computer with all of the Amiibo figures that were missing from special characters. And I feel like I've listed these before, but give me at least like a Brewster, give me Mabel, or Sable. Because we got
Yes.
Mabel. We didn't get Sable. Give me Tortimer. I really love Tortimer.
Yeah.
There's so many really great special characters that we just don't have Amiibo for. LaBelle, Joan, Harriet, Leaf. Come on.
Yeah.
Leaf is adorable.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that figure. So, yeah, I think give us figures of everybody.
Yeah.
I guess you can skip the villagers, sure. But everybody, all the special characters... I'll make room, Nintendo. I already said it.
Yeah.
My shelf
Nice.
is pretty full with the ones that already exist right now. And you only have about, 16 KK sliders?
Yeah. So there's room for a couple hundred more,
Yeah.
especially if they make a DJ Cake amiibo, which they should.
They really should. Just having him with his, DJ thing. What do they
Yeah.
call that?
Yeah. Like the turntable.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah, that would be awesome. I would totally get that. A plush version.
Yeah.
Giant plush.
Oh, yeah.
$500. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. So I also wanted to point out that we've had several, I guess, Amiibo that weren't from Animal Crossing that worked on New Leaf. We had Zelda Amiibo, Splatoon Amiibo, even Monster Hunter made an appearance in this game. Am I forgetting any that worked in the game?
I believe that's it. Yeah, nothing else comes to mind right away.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the ones, but they had specially designed characters for all of these. Like you could get Ganon to live in your town if you wanted him to, and you had Medley from Wind Waker, and even there were a couple squirrel characters after Callie and Marie from Splatoon, and there was of course Feline from Monster Hunter. So
Yes.
there's so many really unique characters that came out of this whole Amiibo thing, and I'm really hoping that they decide to support those as well. So I did want to ask you, do you think they will continue to support Amiibo from other games and even maybe add support for other titles?
Yes, I believe so. Mostly to support, to have villagers based on other game series, because in a way you're promoting both. Whether it be a Nintendo or a third party, it's nice to promote them, and I feel like they do it in a very proper way, because the characters that we've gotten so far, they make sense as villagers. It's not, they're not really reaching with who they put in the game. So I feel like if they continue to do that, it's gonna be very beneficial to Animal Crossing and to the series that they promote.
Yeah, and I agree. They picked characters that really did work for the game. Epona, a horse.
Yeah.
We have horse villagers. Yeah, put her in. So, a wolf Link. We got a wolf villager.
Yeah.
That's Link. It's amazing. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't make Callie and Marie the octopus type of villager, and they went with squirrels instead, but you know what, it works. But yeah, I'd say yes to this as well. Otherwise, these characters that they invented for New Leaf will essentially go into that really long sad list of villagers that never came back, and I just don't want to see that happen to any more villagers. I'd rather see more and more of them get resurrected and brought back than see more and more of them get discarded, essentially, and left outside of the game. I think that's a bummer. But I feel like I had something else to say. I would also really love some more Nintendo characters to show up. So this actually ties into my next question for you, Sergio, and that is, what other games, I guess, Amiibo, would you like to be supported in the Animal Crossing series?
So what I was thinking is basically any video game animal that would make sense as a villager. I'm guessing Nintendo would prioritize their first-party games. We could get maybe Yoshi as as a villager. A Koopa makes a lot of sense. Polterpup makes sense, and it's very topical these days. There was a kangaroo in some of the Zelda games, the Oracle games, called Ricky. He would be really cool as a villager. Basically, any animal. And again, it can even lead to third party collaborations again.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you're spot on with that. Like, if it's already an animal, it should be an Animal
Yeah.
Crossing. I personally, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't want Pokemon villagers. Like, we've seen a lot of
Oh,
fan art
yes.
of people turning Pokemon into villagers already, and it just works. It works
Yes.
so well, and they look adorable, first off, but second off, yes, give me them.
Yeah.
um, I want a little Cyndaquil villager. Cyndaquil is my favorite Pokemon, just so you all know. I love
Oh, nice.
Cyndaquil. But yeah, I want to see Pokemon as villagers. And I mean, as much as people avoid playing Pocket Camp and everything, Pocket Camp's the first game that gave us like Pokemon collaborations with Animal Crossing.
Right.
We got Pokeballs that we could put on our furniture and everything, and there was all this Pokemon themed furniture. We even got an Eevee outfit, so we could dress up as
Yes.
Eevee. So I don't know. I think like Pokemon and Animal Crossing, I feel like the fan bases really mix well, you know? I think a lot of us who like Animal Crossing also like Pokemon, and vice versa.
Yeah.
There's still those who don't so much, but I don't know. I think our fandom really mixes a lot, and we appreciate cute animals that we collect and can live with.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So I have one last question, and this is kind of the big one because a lot of this whole Amiibo functionality, it really depends on like what does it do. So I want to ask you, like, what would you like to see Amiibo do in this new game?
Okay, well, let's say I'm not sure if they're gonna do the same thing they did in New Leaf, where basically if you have the card of the specific villager you want, basically you can move them into your town right away. That might still happen. They might tweak that a little bit, or it might be something completely different. But one new thing that I think they can add to Amiibo for this game is every day you can scan one Amiibo, either a card or a figure, and they would give you uh, either they would give you an item in the game. It could be like a guaranteed 100% chance that you get it, or maybe like a 50-50 chance. It depends. But I feel like they would have to script every amiibo with a specific item. So it's not random, it just depends on what card or figure you scan every day. So I feel like it could possibly lead to, I don't know, any random amiibo card leading to a very special and rare item, and then you would see people going crazy for it on eBay, you know. But I feel like it would be nice to have a little something to do with amiibo in Animal Crossing every day, because we have some of that in other games, like in Fire Emblem. I think it just makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I like that aspect because it and I'm going to talk about this a little bit too because a lot of people really didn't like the fact about how powerful amiibo were if you had them, where you could essentially
Hmm.
just pick which characters you wanted to live in your town, you know. And for me, I don't know, we're old school Animal Crossing players, which means like we've seen a lot of villagers come and go, and I think when you've played as long as us, you're more okay with that than when you first start playing the game. Like when my first favorite villager moved away, that was devastating. That's a
Yeah.
heartbreaking moment. And then eventually you get over it. And you move on and you start to appreciate that kind of life capturing aspect to it where people don't stick around forever. They move to different places. um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think switching it to like having it be a chance of getting an item that is like very special or that you've never gotten before, I think that's a cool way to do it for sure.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So my idea, and I really, I really liked some aspects of the amiibo functionality in New Leaf, specifically the Welcome Amiibo update cards, which came with their own style of villager cards, which were the campers, you know?
Hmm.
And what was special about those was it would call a villager over to your place, and they would be in a camper in this special campsite, and you got to go into their camper and it was decorated like they wanted it decorated, and you could buy furniture from them using a special type of currency there, the meow coupons, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really liked that. I really liked that we got to see a lot of our villagers in a different space, especially the special characters. Like if you scanned in a figure, for example, you could see Isabel just relaxing for once in her life. And that's important to me, you know, like kind of capturing that aspect of the villagers don't have to work all the time. They can take a break.
Yeah.
So my idea is I would want them to keep that feature, but I want the camper to get updated to like a houseboat type of thing. And that houseboat can dock on your island. And so there'd be like a little pier that you could go to, and maybe like 2 or 3 villagers can show up at one time there. And they could essentially, you know, have a little houseboat. You walk in, you get to see their style and everything, and you can, you know, enjoy a special character for a little bit in a new setting, and then also keep buying their furniture and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And also, OK Motors, they can work on houseboats too, because I love that crew.
Yeah.
And I want them to do something in New Horizons.
Yes.
But yeah, that's my idea. You know, personally, I think they should not let us be able to get villagers to move in, because I prefer the old-fashioned way. But if they can, you know, there's no harm in me for that. So if they do let you move in villagers in that way, that's something I can easily avoid doing.
Yeah.
And the people who want to do it can still do it, you know?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that's my idea.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, I think that's all we can say about Animal Crossing Amiibo for now. I really do hope that they re-release them all. There's so many, and it's hard to collect them all. And, you know, even collecting just like a pack or two would be very nice for a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like whenever they discuss more in depth what the Amiibo are gonna do in the game, they really have to disclose basically if they plan to re-release or not. So either way, I think when we find out what they're gonna do, we're gonna find out how easy it's going to be to get them again.
Yeah, it'll be for sure during that 1 hour direct for Animal Crossing that they're gonna have on February. Wait, let me look at the calendar. I'm gonna guess February 20th.
Oh, okay.
Just exactly a month before New Horizons is out. That's my guess.
Nice.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to this next section of the podcast, and we're going to talk about vacations in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And Sergio, you wrote a lot here. You have some big ideas for this, so I'm going to let you take it away for now.
Sure, definitely. And of course, yeah, this comes because of my weekend getaway to Las Vegas. You know, it got me thinking, like, basically, what if you could do the same thing? Take a little vacation, but in Animal Crossing, like within the game itself, just like in real life. For example, let's say in real life you have a weekend coming up where you know you're going to have a lot of free time to play, and if you're playing New Horizons, that's all you're playing. So you're kind of putting your free time towards that. And it gets you thinking, you know, what if you could go on vacation, but within the game itself? I feel like it's possible. We have some ideas to discuss. So I feel like it would be really cool if it's very interactive, meaning actually you would have to go on a trip in the game itself. You're going to have to fly because you're on the island, and, you know, we have the Dodo airport. So I feel like if the trip takes about an hour, that's an acceptable time frame, I think. Maybe a little less. Definitely not more. And I feel like there could even be cool ways to pass the time. You know, you could be watching a comedy show with Dr. Shrunk, or maybe something better. Anything else would probably be better. But you could either watch something or play some mini games, maybe a session of a mini version of Amiibo Festival. That would really, you know, spend the time on the trip there, like we would on real life. If a lot of us travel and we have an Animal Crossing game, we're probably gonna be playing that on the way there. So once you arrive, you're either arrive to a hotel or a vacation house, and basically that's gonna be your home for the duration. Whether you book a trip for the weekend, or maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, or maybe more. That's where you're going to be starting the game. Whenever you save and restart, that's basically your home. Um, Another cool thing is that the shops and everything would be very different from the layout that you have in your island. Not only I mean, obviously you would meet a lot of new villagers, but I feel like everything would be different. The location of the shops, even the layouts. For example, we know the Roost, we know how it is. It's a semi-small coffee shop, but I feel like depending on where you go to vacation, maybe the Roost is like twice as big, and maybe it's back in the basement of the museum, or maybe Kick's shop is like a little kiosk, an outdoor kiosk, and it's next to a four-story building for the Mabel sisters. Maybe they are very popular in this particular city, so I feel like the shops would be different, the way they're laid out in their locations, based on where you go, and I feel like that would add some variety to the vacation spots that you could go. There's a lot of potential here because you could go to real life places like Las Vegas or Paris, or even made up locations like from games that we know, like the Mushroom Kingdom or Hyrule, or they could even be some specific locations that would feature amenities, something like a skate park or a really big concert hall or even a water park. And I feel like these type of locations would use the Pocket Camp amenities really well. They could make vacation spots based on those amenities. I feel like it would encourage people to take vacations in New Horizons, which I think it's a really cool idea. And of course, if you really wanted to, you could cancel your vacation mid-trip, but you would have to go spend an hour on the trip again, and you wouldn't get a refund, basically. So I feel like there's a lot they could explore here. Even the way you book your trip, how many bells it takes, who is going to be the special character in charge of all that, and how many times you can do that and for how long. I mean, I think it's an interesting idea, concept. There's a lot of potential here. What do you think, Chewy?
That is a lot. Yeah, no, okay, so this kind of reminds me, I feel like you had a similar-ish type of idea way back in the day where we kind of thought about it in the sense of like shared kind of towns, essentially, that you could have with other people. And I kind of want to like mix it in with that. Like maybe two people can go to the same location for a vacation, and, kind of spend their time exploring that place. But, you could also just like run around on your own and everything. But I'm also very intrigued by this idea of like, you mentioned the Able sisters having a much bigger 3-story shop here because they're like a big popular store,
Yeah.
So what I like about that is like it gives you like a whole new set of, I guess, inventory to look through and collect and everything. And that's one aspect I really like. Like, we got a little bit of a taste of this in New Leaf, where you could go to the international islands or the local islands, the essentially the Club Tortimer stuff,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And every island that you went to like had something else in stock. So you could go to a place and see, maybe like they had a hammer there, which was a rare item that could only be found there. Or maybe they have the mermaid furniture that you've been looking for, but each one you went to, like, it had something different. So I like that aspect of it, just to think of like a place where you're not really limited to all of the stuff that you have only in your town. It's something, it's a place where you can do a little bit extra. And that's, of course, going to be good for like the players who are a lot like us, who play a lot in a single day. And then they're like, oh, I need something else to do. And so, but I mean, we'll keep playing. We'll keep fishing, catching bugs and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think it just gives those types of players a lot more to handle and do on a daily basis,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like it. I like that idea. It's something very different. I don't know if they'll implement it
Right.
based on like what they're going with this island, but I do like it. I had a bit of a twist on it though. But mine may sound a little bit familiar too. So What I was thinking with vacations when you mentioned it was, rather than going to a destination, maybe your place is the destination to go to. And this, what I mean by that is, like, it'd be cool if, like, special characters, for example, your Isabels of the world, your KK Sliders and everything, if they could visit, they could set up, like, a little campsite and be part of your town for the weekend or the week, or maybe even for just one day, you know? And while there, they can hang out and possibly even sell you things, and you can talk to them and get to know them. And honestly, it's basically like the camping feature, but for special characters before they arrive on your island and actually, like, set up a shop there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, maybe you can show them that your island is great, you're going to provide really good business for them, so they should definitely come by and set up a shop in your island. So,
Oh, yeah, I like that. Maybe you could even be like their tour guide and you could actually take them to all the different shops. And
yeah.
depending on like the order you choose, they decide to stay or not.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned that, because I always really like the beginning of New Leaf where Tom Nook is, like, running behind you to let you set up your home, you
Yeah.
know? And even when Isabel's helping you with a public works project, I like that she runs behind you and sets up, you know, she's just waiting for you to pick a spot for this project, and you don't get a lot of that follow me type of thing. Even,
Right.
and I just remembered, like, the villagers, sometimes they'd be like, oh, you know, you'd go visit them in their house, and then they'd be like, oh, this one villager, I'll say Pancho, asked, I want them to come over. Will you get them for me? And then
Yeah.
you could go out into your town, you could talk to them, and then they follow you back. And so, I don't know, I really like that follow me aspect to it. If you were to give them a tour,
Yes, yes.
I think it'd be pretty cute. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's just kind of my idea. I want it to be, I want this to kind of be the game that lets you essentially speak and interact with the special characters in more of a, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but more, I guess, more substantially, like, more like you're building a relationship with them in some way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
Animal Crossing does a good job with this. Like, the stuff with Sable from the Able Sisters is always one of people's favorite things. They talk to this, I guess, hedgehog behind a sewing machine, and at first she doesn't give you the time of day. And then eventually she's like, hey, you've been stopping around this shop a lot, and you become friends with her,
Yeah.
essentially. So, like, Animal Crossing, the game itself does a really good job with building relationships with the other characters, but I want them to do it more. I want it to be like, every time you talk to them, you're digging a little bit deeper and learning something else about them, you know?
Yes, definitely. And with the personalities that we have, again, it's gonna be just 8, but I feel like they can be different enough that the way you approach the relationship with each villager with a different personality, it could lead to very unique moments. I definitely agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for with this game. I've played a lot of well, I guess this game's going to be a lot of new stuff. Like, the crafting thing is already a huge new mechanic that
Yeah.
we're going to be learning and using a lot. But I want them to go all out with the dialogue in this game. And seeing this Nintendo, I hope they take Animal Crossing in the direction where they're supporting it every month. Maybe they're adding new lines of dialogue for us. Maybe they're adding new stories. Maybe they're adding new furniture. And just, like, I want to see new things each month in this game. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else to say about vacations in this game?
No, I feel like we covered it. It would be interesting if either of these options, or even something similar gets implemented. But I feel like, vacations are cool, and in a way, New Horizons is a vacation to a lot of us. So it would be nice to have something in the game itself.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well then let's move on and get to our Haken's Islander Corner. And for those of you who don't know, This is our segment of the show where we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and then read their answers here. So this week's question was, if Animal Crossing added a hotel, what would you like to be able to do there? And Sergio, I guess I'll start today.
Okay, sounds good.
Actually, you know what? I've totally forgot. What would you want a hotel to be in Animal Crossing?
I think two things. It would be very nice to meet a lot of new villagers that are there just passing by. So there's definitely no way for you to recruit them to your island, but it would just be nice to talk to them and meet new villagers. And also in your room, just get room service. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I think I'm still looking for some cool, and a lot of my answers have been about this today, but I really want it to be some way to connect more with those special villagers. So if they just decide like, oh, there's going to be a hotel here and that's where you can go see the special villagers after they've closed up shop and everything, I'd be into that, you know?
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would look for.
Nice.
Anyways, let's go ahead and read some of these answers. We'll go back and forth, and I will start with Emily Rose Garvey, who said, I always thought it would be a cool idea to have a hotel to stay in if you leave the island. It would be really cool to socialize with other villagers that you never see, or even stay with other players. Maybe there could be some sort of public club. And yeah, I mean like, oh, Club LOL. That's what they mean. So yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see like a club pop up in the hotel, and that's like a new place to see KK Slider on the daily, you know?
Oh yeah, nice. and yeah, it's like sharing a vacation with friends online or locally. Yeah, that would be really cool as well.
Yeah.
So Ella Walker says, I used to really enjoy playing The Sims 2 on the DS, where the premise of the game was to run a hotel. In the game, you could build rooms like a casino, gym, bar, etc. So if Animal Crossing were to have a hotel, I would enjoy many different amenities such as those. This could give KK Slider an additional venue. Maybe this could also be a way for new villagers to move into the island, like the campsite feature in New Leaf. Yes, definitely, Ella. And I feel like the hotel manager could be a new special character. I mean, we're always looking for some of those.
Yeah, I love seeing new special characters, but yeah, I really like this idea mostly because it would give us a chance to see like the amenities kind of from Pocket Camp too, because they had like the swimming pool, they had the skate park kind of thing. So yeah, it'd be cool to see villagers kind of using those types of amenities around.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Quantrell Taval said, maybe a hotel would be the new/next Spot Pass feature. It would be littered with random other players who can give you some dream address type access to their island, sort of like the 4 random visitors you get every cycle in Pocket Camp. I think, okay, I really like this as kind of replacing the Street Pass that existed in New Leaf, you know? Because we're not going to have Street Pass, obviously, on New Horizons, but we could still do like Spot Pass where we sign up and then maybe our one of our rooms gets sent to somebody's hotel, you know, and then they could go and see a special space that they didn't create and somebody else did and kind of enjoy that. So
yeah.
I just really want a replacement for Street Pass. I'm really sad that it's not going to be in this next game. So I like that aspect to it.
Yes, definitely agree. Street Pass is missed, but if they can figure out a way to have it work with New Horizons, yeah, we're all for it.
Yeah.
So Keep Later 1723 says, I think a hotel in Animal Crossing would be a cool place to incorporate the multiplayer. This could be somewhere that your friends check into when they visit. They get assigned a room which they would be able to decorate. There would also be an outdoor area with a pool and water slide, with Brewster at a tiki hut selling everyone drinks. Yes, I feel like the outdoor venue or the pool area would be like the place to be at, you know, when you're at a hotel. Definitely down for that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool too. And like I said, it'd just be really cool to see like those amenities and stuff show up around there. And that it's funny that Brewster Tiki Hut came up again.
Yeah.
Our letter from last week must have been inspirational for that. It was a good idea. I liked it.
Yep.
So Alex or Coconut answered, it'd be cool if the Dream Suite and Luna got incorporated into this hypothetical hotel, and maybe Tortimer is the owner of the hotel overall. Like his island from New Leaf is still around, but now it has a hotel. And yes, that's a really good character to put in that role. I know we would like a new one, but Tortimer, he's vacationing it up. He needs a new hobby for keeping himself busy since being mayor, you know? So we all need something to do when we're retired. And yeah, the Dream Suite is also really a cool idea too. Just to get, even if it were like in that place, you could go have a dream, look at somebody's town, and then wake up and feel well rested.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Sergio. Did you have anything else to say about anything on the show today?
No, I think we just keep imagining really cool things that we would like to see, and hopefully very soon we can have actual details of what's going to be added, and we can share them with all of you.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be on top of that whenever we get some new news. There's already some rumors about a direct coming up this month. Let's talk about that a little bit. Do you think it's happening? Are we getting a direct this month, or is it still in December?
No, it's December 5th, yes.
Yeah. The one piece of, I guess, evidence that came out that could point to some sort of direct, and honestly, I'll say I don't believe there's going to be a direct until next, like, January to February, so I don't really believe it, but we did see, recently I saw that somebody reported the Smash site was updated with whoever Terry is coming soon. You know, I don't care for Terry. We already they honestly peaked at putting Banjo-Kazooie into the game. So
true.
Everything else is not a big deal. It just seems like it's just extra at this point. But yeah, so they did change the site to say it's coming soon. So a lot of people kind of think there's going to be a direct coming up this week. I feel though, like maybe I should believe it, because when we tend to talk about directs on this show and whether or not they're happening soon, they tend to get announced like the day the show comes out. Yeah. So maybe we should believe it, you know?
That's true. That's a good point. And also the Smash character.
Yeah, so yeah, the Smash character, we've seen enough directs for Smash though. Just end it with some more Animal Crossing info and we'll be happy. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChewyPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, have an episode dedicated to you, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chewy Plays. We really appreciate your support, and we put your money toward awesome things. This new artwork from IVTs is an example of that. We've been able to get monthly artwork because of our patrons. If you tuned in on YouTube, the comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. If Animal Crossing had a hotel, what would you want it to do? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chewy, Sergio, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.